If you're a fan of New Orleans teams like I am, I got some very bad news for you. And to be perfectly honest with you, I don't know how much longer I can support these franchises. My wife was asking me the other day what I wanted for Christmas. I think I'm going to get her to redecorate these shelves behind me because I am tired of supporting the garbage. Teams often take on the identities of their head coach. The Saints, the Pelicans, they have two of the worst head coaches in their respective leagues. Hell, Dennis Allen is the worst head coach in all of sports. By the end of the season, Dennis Allen will hold the NFL record on paper as the worst head coach in the history of the league. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that Willie Green is the worst coach in the NBA, but he is damn close. Last night, TNT gave America a valuable lesson. Last night, TNT showed America the value of coaching. Coaching matters. I know a lot of people think that coaching does not matter in the NBA. It's all about star players. It's all about talent, depth. Go ask LeBron James if coaching matters. Look at the difference with the Lakers between Darvin Ham and JJ Redick. Last night, the Golden State Warriors, they were playing with scrubs. Two of their five starters, which included Steph Curry, the facilitator of their offense and arguably the greatest guard in the history of the NBA, two of their five starters out. In terms of talent, the Pelicans had a massive advantage over the Warriors last night, yet somehow they still got their ass kicked. Why? Because coaching matters. 2 days before the season started, Willie Green, he didn't know his starting lineup. The media, they asked for his starting lineup, and he says, I don't know. I'll have to pray on it. This bum doesn't have a clue what he's doing. 2 years in New Orleans, Dyson Daniels, he didn't look like he belonged on an NBA court some nights. 4 games in Atlanta, the kid looks like a completely different player. Why? Because he has a coach telling him what to do. When he left New Orleans, Dyson Daniels, he said that he never had a role, a defined role with the team. He's a role player. His only purpose is to have a role. Willie Green never gave him one. 2 years, Willie Green never told Dyson Daniels what he should be doing. Both the Saints and the Pelicans, they lack identity because both teams, they are being led by head coaches who don't have an identity. Not only do they not have an identity, they don't have a clue. If you're a fan of these teams, I hate to be the one to tell you this, nothing is going to change because both front offices are complacent. Both front offices, they have job security because they are working for an owner who values family over winning. Gayle Benson values taking care of good people over winning games, which would be great if she was running a charity, but in the NFL and the NBA, there's only one thing that matters. I don't give a shit what Mickey Loomis says. There's only one thing that matters. Results. Winning. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. If you happen to stumble across this video, be sure to check out my main channel, Behind the Line. Search Behind the Line here on YouTube. Should be the first channel that comes up. Normally, I am not a quitter, but if you're a Saints fan and you're patiently waiting for Dennis Allen to be fired, do what I did. Give up. If the Saints lose this week to Carolina, Dennis Allen's not going to be fired. They lose every game the rest of the season, Dennis Allen's not going to be fired. And the reason Denise won't be fired, no quality coach in their right mind wants to take over this dump. The Saints are 2 or 3 years away from even being able to start a rebuild. Going into next season, they are $80 million over the salary cap. Next worst team is the Browns at I think $39 million. Now the Browns, they're over the cap due to one bad contract to Deshaun Watson. Saints, they're over the cap due to a roster filled with bad contracts. This incompetent dump just gave Alvin Kamara a 2-year extension. Why? Well, Alvin's part of the family. He wants to retire with us. What? Excuse me? Part of the family? I already have a family. When I watch the NFL, I'm not looking for a family. I'm looking for a winner. Same thing with Jose Alvarado with the Pelicans. David Griffin gave him an extension this summer. Jose is like a son to me. He's a really special young man. Ooh. Yeah, he is. Jose, great dude, great father. You know what he's not? An NBA caliber player. No disrespect to Alvin Kamara, one of my favorite players. From an emotional standpoint, he earned that contract. But that's the biggest problem with both of these teams. They make decisions based on emotions. I wonder why. Females and weak men, they often make decisions based on emotion. The Saints, they've got a female owner and 2 weak men in the Saints and Pelicans front office. From a business perspective, it made absolutely no sense to give Alvin Kamara that extension. But he's part of the family. At minimum, Dennis Allen will be coaching the Saints through next season. Maybe he is fired by January of 2026, maybe. Even though it pains me to say this, even though I want to see that arrogant weasel sitting with the luggage on the first Greyhound out of New Orleans, I think, I don't want to call it the right move. I think it's the only move to keep Dennis Allen right now. What the Saints will be forced to do over the next 18 months or so is lose, which is fine because they have been voluntarily doing that since Denise was promoted to head loser. If you're in a situation where you're going to lose and you've already got the most elite loser in the history of coaching, might as well keep him. Hell, you probably won't even have to pay him. Denise enjoys losing so much, he would probably lose for free. Right now, the Saints are completely hopeless. Denise has already done what he does best. He completely ruined the culture. He destroyed the locker room. You got aging veterans on untradeable contracts. You have no money to spend in free agency. Might as well let Denise keep doing what he's doing. But the Pelicans? The Pelicans have to make a decision now. The Pelicans are a young team desperate for a leader. This is a young team that is desperate for a coach that knows how to teach NBA basketball. They are desperate for someone to give them an identity. Well, Casey, that's why David Griffin brought in DeJounte Murray. That move was great. Yeah, that was a great move. But here's the problem. DeJounte Murray, he is out for the foreseeable future. Look at what happened as soon as he was injured. The Pelicans reverted right back to the same bullshit because Willie Green doesn't have a fucking clue. Watching that game last night, the Golden State Warriors offensively, they look like the same team. Now, obviously, they didn't have Steph Curry, but they were running the same sets. They were playing with the same intensity. They had the same identity. While the Pelicans, they look like a wet fart. The Pelicans look like they didn't have a clue because they're playing for a coach, and I struggle to call Willie Green a coach. They're playing for a doofus that has no idea what he's doing. The Pelicans, they would be better off being coached by a blind mute. Couldn't be any worse. Half the time, I don't even think Willie Green is paying attention. He's sitting on the sidelines reading his Bible, which is the reason he won't be fired. Willie and Dennis, they're nice boys. They're high character boys. They might not win games, but they have great morals. That's what really counts. Yeah, that's what counts in life. But when it comes to sports, I don't give a shit about your morals, your character. I'm glad I'll see Willie Green in heaven one day. Where I don't want to see him is coaching my team. Get this bum out of here. I'm sick of it. This is year 4 of Willie Green, and we are talking about the same problems. No identity, no clue offensively, no leadership, no accountability, no energy. All you have to do with the Pelicans is play with physicality. As soon as you get physical with them, they fold because they're playing for a coach who is weak. I am this close. I am this close to going back to my childhood team, the Orlando Magic. I am out of patience. I am tired of the excuses. If David Griffin is looking for a family, he needs to be working for Habitat for Humanity. Mickey Loomis, he shouldn't be working at all. Just go retire. I am so tired of being negative. I want a reason to be positive, but I am just sick of the garbage. I am sick of the incompetence. I am sick of complaining about the same thing over and over and over. I am tired of complacency. No one in New Orleans is worried about their jobs. Nobody. Dennis Allen has the arrogance of a loser who knows he's not getting fired. As long as Willie Green keeps texting Gayle Benson his daily devotionals, he knows he's not going to be fired. Gayle Benson has destroyed these franchises. The Pelicans have the cheapest tickets in the NBA. Saints, some of the cheapest in the NFL. You can't give seats away because people are as tired as I am. People are tired of supporting this garbage. You know, the Saints had some frustrating seasons under Sean Payton. 2014 to 2016, they went 7-9 all 3 years. My support never wavered because I knew every week, win or lose, the team was going to be ready. They were going to play hard. They would be prepared. Today, I never know what I'm going to get. Well, I know what I'm getting from the Saints. I have no idea what I'm going to get from the Pelicans. I don't mind losing if I'm seeing growth. I don't mind losing if I'm seeing preparation, if I'm seeing a plan, execution. But I have absolutely no tolerance for incompetence. I have no tolerance for complacency. I have no tolerance for watching the same mistakes game after game, week after week, year after year. I hope Zion Williamson requests a trade. I really do. I really do. If he does, I'm going with him. I know this video was longer than usual for this channel, but I am just pissed off right now. I am out of patience with both of my teams. This is very therapeutic for me, so thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the main channel.